Good morning, Sasha, Braden, anyone else that happens to be listening. Sasha, shout out to you. This is going to be a Warrior Wednesday video. So, as all good military stories start with, they always start with, and there we were. So, there we were. There I was, actually, 1994, December, Fort Hood, Texas, my very first duty assignment. This is a lesson in always being prepared. Now, in 1994, cell phones were not a thing. So almost no one had one. I didn't have one. I'd been in my unit for about 1 week. I'd showed up on a Monday, and unfortunately, tragically, there had been a death in the unit. I think the previous week, and so they were going through mostly that week. What they were doing was having a memorial service for this warrant officer who was killed, I believe, in a car wreck. And so because of that, I didn't really get to meet anybody, didn't really get to learn anything. I was kind of told, hey, just kind of take care of yourself for about a week and we'll sort of get you squared away the following week. Well, so on a Sunday, I go do some Christmas shopping and I come back. It's probably about 6:30 in the evening. I see my answering machine flashing. Yes, back in the day, we had landlines. If you called someone, you left a message. And so I listened to the message and it said, Lieutenant Coolman, this is, Sergeant so-and-so. We're having an alert recall. I need you to come in and bring your A and your B bag. And the time was, I was 4 hours late. So it was like 2:30 in the afternoon. So I call him back. And the first thing I said was, well, what's an A and a B bag? Because I had no idea. And it sounded like that the person on the other phone, I just remember they sounded like, I can't believe you're asking me this question. And they said, well, it's basically your bag's all packed with all your stuff in it. And so that was super vague, not very helpful. And they're like, hey, you need to get in here. So I kind of grabbed up my Army gear, what I thought I would need. Um, and I ran in, and it turns out, just in case you're wondering, your A bag typically is your rucksack. It's for about a 24 to 48 hours. So maybe one change of clothes, second set of boots, some underwear, socks, personal hygiene stuff, toothbrush, toothpaste, shaving gear, hair stuff, all that. And B bag tends to be your duffel bag. So things you won't see when you first get there. So maybe another pair of boots, maybe 3 or 4 pairs of uniforms, and other things that you might need later on, but probably don't need right at the beginning. So anyway, I get in there. We're having a no notice deployment. We're going to Panama. Um, Literally, we were called on Sunday. I believe I flew out Monday around midnight, and I was 4 hours behind the power curve. So, what lessons did I take from that? Always do your best to be prepared. So when you feel like, well, that equipment's dirty and I just need to clean it off, take the time, clean it off when you know, okay, I just got back from the field. I need to clean it off and get it ready to go, because you never know. You never know. We were not, we used to have these different alert statuses. One would be a 24-hour recall, a 48-hour recall. We actually weren't scheduled until the beginning of January to even be on a recall. So even though it was, that's probably why we got about 48 hours to do this, wheels up in about 48 hours. We were not prepared to do that because we weren't expected to do that, but the unit that was supposed to do it wasn't able to do it, and so we got the call. And so my point is simply, when you get back and your soldiers are tired and you don't want to, you don't want to sort of clean the gear and clean the weapons and make everything right. You need to do that. You need to go ahead and do it. You feel like you're being the bad guy, but that's the standard. You need to make sure you uphold the standard, because it's very important, because you never know when you may get a phone call and you have no time whatsoever in order to respond. So hope you enjoyed that Warrior Wednesday little anecdote. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye.